Hi, my name is Adam. I'm one of the co-directors and co-founders of BetaJester Limited. I am a programmer, but I'm also sort of a frontman, PR man, speaker, developer, and a whole bunch of different things in between. So the video games industry at the minute is in a really kind of interesting space because it's much more accessible than it ever has been. You know, it's to get a game on Steam, you just pay the upfront, I think it's £100, and then you can get your game on there. And if you make £100, you get that back, which is wonderful. itch.io, completely free, lots of free resources, free tools. It's really easy to sort of start making a game if that's what you want to do. But because it's so easy for you, it's also really easy for everybody else, which means the market is way more competitive than it ever has been. I think it's something like, this is probably an understatement, it's like 1,000 games a day, it may even be more than that releasing on Steam. It means that you have to be really on it in terms of your knowledge and knowing you know, how to make the best of any opportunity that's presented to you. If you're interested in getting the games industry to work for somebody else, then it's more about how do you make yourself look like the person that wants to be hired over the next person. So obviously the games industry is doing phenomenally well, worth billions and billions of pounds, more successful than film, TV and music combined. And that means that it's a very lucrative opportunity, but means it's a very competitive opportunity. Lots of people are interested. It's more about demonstrating why you as an individual are worthy of any particular position, which is very simple. A, do interesting things, you know, demonstrate your passion, whether that's you do lots of cool stuff, or you volunteer, or you do game jams, or anything that kind of links into why you're passionate about what you do. And have a really good portfolio. Simple as that. If you've got a portfolio that sort of shows why you can not only say what you can do, but demonstrate that you can do it, you know. If you're a programmer, have some interesting looking games and tech pieces on there. If you're an artist, make sure it's full of your best art. That is how you can get a job in the games industry, by demonstrating to them that you are passionate about what you do and you know that you're good at what you do, and the opportunities will be open to you. So in terms of things like how to improve your opportunities in getting into places, or the odds of you getting into somewhere, work experience is always going to be the best because it demonstrates that you've worked somewhere, you understand what it is like to be in a. But work experience positions are by far the most competitive. They're probably more competitive than actual jobs, to be fair, because of that advantage they give you. The games industry is not just about playing video games all the time. It's also about being a person who can bring interesting ideas to the table, and that comes from having passions outside the games industry. Nintendo famously looked to hire people outside the games industry to bring in new ideas and creative ideas. So making sure that all your portfolio, your CV, all that demonstrates who you are, what you can do, and your capacity for work in terms of your portfolio and what you're capable of doing. That will be the key thing to help you get, whether it's that work experience position or when you've got that first job. So if we're talking about technical skills for different roles in the games industry, especially like at the stage when you're starting to move from education and look for your first job, whether that be from A-levels or university, or wherever it may be, the key things to be looking for are what skills do you need to demonstrate your capabilities? And that changes depending on what kind of area you're looking into. The key here is demonstrating that you are able to use your skills and apply them to building something that can then be used in a game. Because different games companies will all use different engines, you know. You can still demonstrate your capabilities, and especially for junior positions, they're more about understanding your passion and understanding your general capability than they are any particular skill. When you start to get into more formalized positions, you know, roles, seniors, all those kind of things, then they're going to start to want to see experience in certain types of technologies. Being able to show off your technical skill matters more than the technology you use to develop it, because generally speaking, they all export to formats that you can be used in any kind of game engine or whatever it may be. So for a lot of roles, it's more about knowing a technology and knowing it well enough to demonstrate that you understand the fundamentals and the concepts and the things that apply to different games companies than it is any particular one, maybe apart from programming, just because it's so specific. But even then, if you understand languages at a core level, then those apply in different places. What I would say is another good thing to know about are tools, and being aware of different tools that sort of sit around games in sort of the production level, because the more easily you can integrate into a company's pipeline and how they run their company, the more likely they are to hire you because you fit their kind of remit. But games companies use these kind of communication and team working tools to help keep everyone in line with each other, know who's doing what, etc. So the more you know about those as well, the more you'll look like somebody who understands the business, who understands games, and is ready to work in a team. If you're coming from another area, a degree that isn't games or a subject matter that isn't games, and you're interested in sort of getting into games, the key here is to look at your transferable skills. So the key here is looking at what is it from your current role, course, whatever, that can be applied to the games industry. And if it's not your role, what is it from your life or your experience? It's really about trying to abstract and think about what skills can be transferred from what you're doing to the games industry and more generally, you know, any kind of business. So if you're a student, wherever you are in the world, kind of thinking about, you're coming to the end of your course and you're thinking about starting a business or getting into the games industry, the key things that I would say to you are ask around, talk to people. Games industry is a wonderful place to be, and it's full of really open and chatty people. Go out there, network with people, speak to them, ask them questions about the industry. What's it like in your local area? What's it like in your country? What are people interested in? What are the skills they're looking for? Be open, be friendly, chat to people, and very quickly you'll get a really good picture, you know, on top of everything that I've said as well, of what it's like to be working in the games community in your area. And from that you can start to build a picture of if you were going to start a business, or if you were going to join a company, or whatever it may be, you'll understand what you need to do to get yourself into that position. So just go out there, speak to people, and enjoy it, and hopefully I'll meet you at a networking event in the future.